Today we're taking a first look at Yemoja. And this is gonna be very, very interesting because she is a very support style guardian. So I have no idea how this game is gonna go. I'm just gonna get a feel for her because she relies a lot on heading skill shots, which I don't think I will on this ping. And she is very, very unique in many ways. So what you first notice is that she doesn't have mana. She doesn't have a mana bar at all. Because instead she has something called Omi. And what you also notice here is that I have a ranged basic attack and then I'm actually healing my ally. My ally still decided to die. That's unfortunate. But you can see these basics passing through the minions here and not doing anything. Hitting enemies and stopping on enemies. But also passing through allies and healing them in the process. That worked. And what you see here as well, I have one ability, but I fire two different abilities. So you have two different abilities on your first ability, but only on your first ability. I'm actually going to check real quick. I should probably put this on quick cast just so I can show you all of these. And her first ability here does not work on quick cast. Interesting. Aha, it reset to default. So this is the first part. This is the bubble. Oh, I'm gonna heal Arachne here. Yeah, see, she's getting those healing ticks, and we can also use the 3 here right away. Oh god, can I turn it? Oh, I can't turn it around though. That's hard. So her first ability is these bubbles, and I can throw these bubbles, and if he walks backwards, he can get hit by a second bubble, and then these small bubbles pop out. These bubbles will also slow the enemy, and can therefore be used in many ways. But you can also see how the enemy can kind of walk away from them. The second ability has actually got, if you look how it changes with the distance here, it's actually, depending on the distance, it's harder or easier to hit. Because it has a size that scales with the range. And the middle beam here, just the middle one, will stun. So at a far range, this is pretty hard to hit as a stun. I can kind of show you with Nemesis here. Oh, did I hit her? Yeah, I actually still hit her. Oh, unfortunate. I wanted to shoot something with a shield as well, but I don't have the Omi for that. And this portal here, I was gonna try and show you, but not gonna happen here. It can be used to knock enemies back. That's just 3. We're gonna get to in a second. Okay, now we have all abilities. So the one is a main damaging ability, main clearing ability, but also a very strong CC if you're using it in the right version. I can probably get a stun off here if I predict this right. Yeah, there we go. So this is a very essential ability for her kit, I would say. You can also use the other one to clear and poke in a very interesting way here. I just noticed. Her 2 is a healing and shielding ability. We can use that once Arachne decides to not die for a second. And her 3 is this portal that I've shown you. And this portal has 2 ways. I'm going to show you the 3 first because the 2 is going to take a while. So I can put the portal like this or like this. I don't actually know what happens if I put it in the middle. It should indicate a direction. I can go either way? No, okay, it's still, that's weird. It should show the direction properly. So basically if I put it back there, it will knock enemies back, or it will knock me back if I walk through it. And allies as well. And put it there, it'll knock everyone forward. But, oh, this works on minions? Hold on a second. I did not know this part. That's hilarious. That is absolutely hilarious. Alright, so the whole squad's here now. Let's use the 2. So what you see there, it says she gets a little bit of healing and she gets a little bit of a shield and I get the same. So it procs on both of us. Which is very, very interesting as a mechanic. I'm gonna level my ultimate here and I'm gonna level the 2 first. Stay supporty. You can re-aim that. And we can use the ultimate here. Maybe that will just... Nah, that will not work out. We're actually in trouble here. Unfortunate. The ult, as you can see, has a little bit of a wind-up. It's a massive wave. And this wave will... initially, it will not do anything to enemies except be a wall. Oh, walk forward. Stepped out of that. But if you hit, or like, rather, it's a wall for enemies only. Allies can walk through it. Okay, if I put that differently, I could have hit both the archers and the front line. Interesting. Another interesting aspect. And then when the waves crash together, the enemies take damage, they get slowed, and they get a tremble effect. Also, my Omi, what would be mana, regenerates faster. Okay, I'm actually gonna... I'm actually gonna see if I can get the bounce perfectly so it hits... No. So this is where the archers would be if Arachne did decide not to run into that over and over and over for no reason. Very good shot. You can like kind of keep the hot going on here the whole time. Just keep dropping the basic from time to time. Kill a little bit with that. So let's talk a bit about Omi. Omi is a very straightforward resource in that it is essentially what would be mana, and this is also how the whole cooldown thing works. I can actually show you. I'm gonna regenerate my Omi a little bit so I can show you. She doesn't have cooldowns on abilities except the ultimate. Instead, she can spam her abilities to her heart's content with this Omi. But only as long as she has Omi. The Omi regenerates over time. So we're just gonna use this ability twice here, and we dealt quite a lot of damage here. It wasn't ideal, not what we really want to do. But the wave's gonna crash here with the ultimate, and that might actually be enough for a kill. Can we get Nemesis as well? No, the bubbles popped in the wrong direction. You see the last bubble does very little damage. But yeah, especially now, after my ultimate, I also have better Omi regeneration for a little bit. That also helps a lot. And again, I can use my one here, and then I can use the other version of my one right after. Blop, get some more bubbles that way. So very, very interesting, very unique skill set when it comes to mana. Means she gets very pressured out when she's low on Omi, but when she has her Omi, she's in a very nice spot. And you're also not dependent on the same kind of item choices that other players have, I think. But let's look at the Omi right now. It's +1 right now, and now we also have this 5 out of 300. And now if we say we get the CDR boots, we have plus 250 mana. Now you see it's 255 out of 300. So we need a little bit more mana in one way or another, or MP5. I'm actually going to test this with MP5 because I wanted to see how that works. So can we just get a very simple MP5 item? HP5. What is MP5 on a load? Okay, 5 MP5. So this would be... Okay, this actually just adds 5. So MP5 is not really worth it compared to mana here because flat mana value gives me much more. And once we reach 300, we're going to have an additional bar here. An additional effect that way, basically, that will further benefit us as we can use our abilities more often. And of course, like, an extra bar of these abilities is worth a lot when your first ability literally just needs 2 bars and the other ones will just need 3 bars. So, it's definitely something worth keeping in mind. So you want to look to some mana in the build, and CDR increases the regeneration as well. We're at 1.1 now. I think that is due to the 10% CDR from boots. So that's something you shouldn't underestimate either. I'm going to get really close here, and I'm going to see if I can get a stun that way. That worked out. Okay, we can use our 2 here, which is nice. Oh, he walked through that very nicely. Like, he avoided it perfectly. Ah, here we get the stun. Chiron bot doing work. Wow, with the last bubble. So yeah, very, very interesting in that regard as well. I really like a lot of things about this character's design. She feels really nice. I'm so proud of this guy. I wanted to try the hard bots actually, by the way, but it seems they're not unlocked for customs just yet. Okay, you can kind of hit the full wave, but you want to be a little bit further away than I was here, I think. Not quite ideal in my opinion. Alright, we're gonna max it 2, I think. I was considering to go for the 1 here. And what we can also do here is to show the other interaction of the 2 that we haven't shown yet. Because there's a Nemesis right there, and she might just do what we want her to do. Just pop a shield. Yes. See that? That was a shield. Was. Emphasis on was. Yes! Got the sun. Alright, so that wouldn't work as well against players most of the time, I think, though, because when you see those things coming down, you're gonna juke at least to the side. But what she has is she has an effect. When you max her 2, she gets 3 times bonus damage of the normal damage as unmitigated damage, so I think as true damage, to shields. So she heavily punishes shields. There you go, that spacing is pretty good for the bubble. And I think that's a very cool, unique mechanic. I gotta say, so far, I feel like overall her damage is not even half bad. So you can max a 3, it'll increase the movement speed and protections here. I don't really think that's that interesting, but what I want to do is I want to show you something else with a 1. See that? You can stun the tower. And that is absolutely fantastic. And what I want to test with that also is what exactly that would imply. Can I clear these? Yeah, the clear is actually not terrible at all. So, what I want to do is I'm going to take some tower shots voluntarily. I might die for this. Let's get those minions in. So. Oh, yeah, okay. It still stacks up. I was going to see if... Oh, didn't get that. I was going to see if it doesn't stack up anymore maybe, but it still does. Oh no. Oh no, she juked it. Alright. That's how I died for the tower shots there. That's something interesting, by the way, with noting, right? You can relatively easily juke the ultimate if you have any mobility. Like the Nemesis did there with the dash. So, if the enemy has leaps, I think they have a very easy time getting out, but even if they're just able to dash, that will definitely help them as well. So yeah, but so the stun does not reset the tower damage, which means you take quite a fair bit if you stun them and don't get out afterwards. So it's just a very brief additional benefit, I would say. I'm just gonna go with... we don't really want to stack a Thebes here, we're just gonna go with like a Sovereignty or something. Something very casual, nothing crazy. And now we can listen to the voice back a lot, we haven't done that yet.
The waters brim in excitement.
An enemy has been slain.
You have made me so
Hostile
proud.
forces diminished.
I do what I must. Your each step defiles the ground upon which it touches.
Ah, did I not? I was trying to get both the shield and the damage at the same time there. That didn't work. Oh, right, what you should also do is, of course, you should use a basic attack on the ally before you heal them. I didn't do that properly for a lot of the game here. Because... thanks for pushing me. And aping. So... when you use the basic attack first, with the healing over time, then the heal is also increased by, I think, 10%. So that's, of course, something that is very useful. Just a little of extra healing. Oh. Unless your ally just decides to stay on the tower and you don't have a chance to actually do that. I see him healing up a little bit here, but like, not nearly enough. That stun actually has a pretty high tolerance range, I would say. Where it should not necessarily be working, it kinda is. Okay, this might be working better, because this way... yeah, this way they basically... if you get an enemy caught sideways in the lane, I think they have no way of getting out. Right, now you can see I've kinda done like trades before, so I'm really low on my... resource on my Omi, so I can't really do much against him. Of course, I'm a support style character, so I shouldn't be able to do too much anyways.
Not as soft as it looks.
I gotta say, she feels really cool.
Do not underestimate me.
Oh, I'm so sad. That would have been so cool. So, she has a taunt, and the taunt
beware.
Puts her up on the water spout, but you cannot walk on the water spout. That's unfortunate that they made animation standing. I like the ones where you can move while doing them. I think it makes things so much cooler. Okay, you gotta get a little bit closer so you can kind of guarantee the stun, unless the enemy walks in the other direction. Okay, let's try if we can get this. Oh, no, that didn't work. Well, it still kind of worked, actually. I didn't get what I wanted here. I wanted to knock her back, and you really have to put it in max range for that. But it did still kind of work. Okay, let's try the ultimate thing here with Artemis. So I just gotta get it here. Okay, she could kind of get out here. She's like a little bit of a passage to get out, but it's super small. It's not nearly enough, I would say, in most situations. Yeah, the one is definitely not easy to hit in that form. This one is... no. Not easy to hit if the enemy dashes either. But it feels easier to hit in that form actually than in the bubble form. The bubble is so slow until it actually goes off. It's really more of a, let's see if one of them hits and applies an effect for like a gem of isolation or something. It'd be very fun. I really have no complaints about it so far. She does feel like she has a lot of damage, and we're gonna see if that turns out to be the case in the long run, if it's just my initial impression. But I especially like this mechanic where you get like a better stun range if the enemy is closer. It's such a unique little thing. Okay, you can also see the talent. I missed my first basics on him relatively, like by a stretch, but it didn't actually have much of an impact in that regard. Let's stun this tower. Just for a little bit. Can we just drop an ult here and see what it does? He had a lot of time. He could get out there. He's gonna go back. We can heal up Chiron. This is very interesting. I think I've shown pretty much everything I can show at this point. Kind of thinking if I'm missing something, but maybe some jokes.
I have as many children as there are fish in the sea. Yes, and I do believe that my dress is more beautiful than a mermaid's tail. Trust me. You gods litter the ocean waters just as much as the mortals. Shameful.
Backing animation. We haven't shown that. Not properly. Oh, hey, hello. Well, that was rude. We can also quickly see. Maybe we just get it to level. Or like we get a mana item at least. Maybe not to level 20, but get a mana item at least to. Clear is not bad for support. See how much mana regen we get out of that. Ooh, see that? The shield just barely saved there. And it's gonna be enough. Who would have thought? Who would have thought that that's gonna be enough? Pretty cool. Okay, we're gonna get some mana. What do we want for mana? Wish a gem of ice had mana. That would be such a nice item here. So Reaver, let's see how easy that is to proc. Of course not what you necessarily want to build most situations, but it's gonna be like super stupid supporty heal items here. Probably not what you want to build in our game. And you can also of course you can use this as mobility. And you can get quite far with it actually. Oh no. She's gonna get away and he's gonna get away. Oh, never mind, he came back in. Yeah, but you can see, like, you have to really get them in the middle or something to really hit them with that. Otherwise, they're just not gonna care. I don't even know what Med would do for me here. Okay, it doesn't do anything. I was gonna see if it does any regeneration, but nothing at all. So, sustained boxing when you don't have your Omi is not recommended at all. But I mean, she's a support, so it's good that's not the case. I'm not complaining about that at all, I'm just saying. Probably shouldn't do it. And she probably shouldn't be able to do it.
Ally has been slain.
The one though, it does feel like it does pretty solid damage still. All things considered. It could be worse. Can I get the gem of ice proc there? Nah. Doesn't look like it. I've got nothing. I don't think I can reach with anything, cause yeah, you can outrun. Oh no, you cannot outrun the bubble. I was gonna say, I think the bubble is like movement speed, but it's slightly slower. So that's cool. Hey, come on, what are you doing? Hello. Oh, is he gonna go back? Yeah, you could walk out there still. It's actually really easy to walk out in so many situations here.
Your team has destroyed a middle enemy tower.
I wanna see that level 20. Like, why did I say Gem of Isolation? I didn't even end up building it. I ended up building Soul Reaver for the extra Omi.
My medicine can save me now.
Not as soft as it looks. Stay alert.
Right Phoenix is under attack.
No, can't take that.
Your right Phoenix has been destroyed.
Alright, I think we got enough of an idea here. I'm not gonna play this till the end because
Down.
her structure push is a bit too slow for that. Which is fair enough. So I'm just gonna drop the F6 here, and then we're gonna look at the defeat screen as well. And then we'll have a very good first impression of her, which I think is fantastic. I think she is great. I really enjoy the feeling of her, the design of her, the audio visual effects, the unique parts of her kit. Balance-wise, hard to say. I think she feels strong-ish because she still has decent damage. But at the same time, she might also feel a lot less strong when she doesn't have the same kind of potential as she does here through her Omi. Like, especially in the earlier stages when she doesn't have that much Omi yet, that I think could be quite harsh for her. Okay, I like that defeat screen animation as well. It's pretty cool. She's gonna go up and she's gonna get knocked down again. They said they're gonna put a little bit less effort into the defeat screen animations, but this one is enough for me. I kinda wanna see how much healing I've done. Okay, so I've done very little healing, of course, as well, really representative of that, but I felt that even though she's a healing support and she's kinda like classified along with the other healers, her biggest strength to me is more CC than it is healing, because she has so many ways to lock enemies down, but the healing kind of plays a secondary role. But on the other hand, it's really big in team fights because it can bounce between all the allies, and she has shielding, which isn't added into the healing here, which is worth keeping in mind. I also think that the ultimate is going to be very interesting, because I think the ultimate is better to be set up with other ultimates so that enemies actually stay in there. But we'll see how that turns out in actual games. I feel like the wind up until it actually happens is quite long. And with that, thank you guys so much for watching. If you're new to the channel, feel free to sub button and maybe the bell, it drives me out. And I'll see you for the next one tomorrow. I think we'll end the last video for today. DukeSloth out.